Yeah, I know what you're thinking. About now the Ghost of Christmas Past shows up, but this isn't about ghosts, but it is about the past. We're going to look back at some of the favorite history clips of the past year. And there are no ghosts, nothing too scary, unless you think maybe a hurricane is scary. The 1926 storm was one for the ages. We don't hear much about it almost 90 years later, but its impact was devastating for much of the region. It leveled most of Miami and killed more than 300 people. You know, things change, but people remember. And a lot of people around town remember Augusta's Pond. Generations of Augustans told their children and grandchildren about the grand times they had playing, splashing, swimming, diving, and basically staying cool in those always hot Augusta summers before air conditioning became common. Dr. William Mulheron advised Augusta and North Augusta parents of the advantages of swimming as good exercise, so kids soon flocked to Gedson. You know, the pond was a place for fun, but the Savannah River nearby was sometimes more dangerous, like the time they found a sea serpent. Sea serpent, said the headline in the Chronicle, and here is its account. This monster of the deep has at last made his appearance in the Savannah River. He was discovered coming up about 5 o'clock on last Thursday and was witnessed by several respectable citizens. The creature appeared in the river below Augusta and frightened a man chopping wood, then disappeared beneath the waters as others rushed to the riverbank to see it. This reminds me, there are some things that are hard to explain. But he couldn't explain what he saw the night of July 26th, 1948, from the newsroom's second floor window. Nobody could. It was variously described as a ball of fire, a streak of light, a rocket ship. Battle wasn't the only witness. In fact, most of Georgia saw something flying overhead that summer evening. You like mysteries? Well, there is the one about the reporter who came to Augusta and what she found out. Jack Ruby, the bar owner who shot Lee Harvey Oswald on national TV, gave her private interviews. She told her friends that she was writing a book that would tell the story of who really killed Kennedy. That book was never written. In 1965, soon after returning from Dallas, Kilgallen was found dead in her home. But there are some mysteries we can't explain, like that of Georgia Tech's legendary scholar, George P. Burdell. George P. Burdell proved to be as adept at computer science as he was at everything else. He signed up for every single class, 3,000 credit hours, and he wasn't always studying. During World War II, the name George P. Burdell began showing up on wartime rosters. He was officially listed on the flight crew of a B-17 bomber, flying 12 missions over Europe with the 8th Air Force in England. And while Mr. Burdell is seldom seen today, he is frequently paged at hotels and airports and sporting events. You know, Augusta has long loved its restaurants, and a lot of people loved the town tavern. It was old with dark wood walls and conveniently located behind the news building on 7th Street, one of several addresses it had over the years. It's where we were taken for our job interview lunches and asked why we wanted to work for the South's oldest newspaper. The original building was demolished for the Georgia Railroad Bank, now Wells Fargo. You know, Christmas is often a time that we look back and remember. Well, we'd like you to remember the last big Christmas in downtown Augusta. Merry Christmas. I remember walking back to work after lunch that Christmas Eve on sidewalks full of people and children everywhere, children. They all seemed so happy, so much so that even a cynical young newspaper man could be impressed. I thought it would always be like that downtown on Broad Street in the days before Christmas, but 1977 was the last. Augusta and Regency malls opened the next summer. Those big old Broad Street department stores moved out to the suburbs, and things got quiet. By the next year, Christmas 1978, the change was obvious. We did a story counting the empty storefronts. There were more than 70. Most shoppers were out at the shiny new stores in the malls. Downtown Augusta still has its Christmas lights. But people, that main ingredient of the Christmas spirit, sometimes seem to be somewhere else. That's okay. You should have been here. We all should have been here. It was a Christmas that we all need to remember.